Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years. We're dedicated to delivering quality auto parts, expert customer service, fast and free shipping, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So visit us at 1aauto.com, your trusted source for quality auto parts. Radiator drain you can access from your passenger's front wheel well. Pull back on the inner fender. It's here, and now you're looking at it from the middle of the vehicle. There's a nipple to put a hose on the outside. So we'll put a rubber hose on. Put the rubber hose on. Now you can put your drain pan under, put the hose right into your drain pan. 19mm wrench, and you should be able to break it free pretty easily. And then turn it with your hand counterclockwise, and your coolant should start to drain out. And then loosen the radiator cap and let it drain. And once it's done draining, turn it clockwise to close it. We're going to remove this whole panel, so we're going to start by taking off the spare tire jack crank. Take that off. And now there's a series of clips. They have Phillips head screws in them. We'll show you how to get them out. There's 4 across the front, 2 more which are missing on this vehicle, and then there's 2 clips back here which are different style, although I'm pretty sure they should be this Phillips screw style. So the way these should come out is you turn them counterclockwise and very lightly almost pull up on the screwdriver while you're doing it so they come out. And then once you have that out, the whole clip will come up and out. You may run into them where they don't want to come out that easily. And in that case, you'll probably need a little 90-degree pick tool, although sometimes you can be successful getting, oh, my fingernails aren't very big. Sometimes you can get a fingernail under there, but what you probably have to do is get a pick tool right in underneath just to pry up a little bit while you turn it and pull it out. These ones back here are a different style. You pry up, pull the center up, and pull it out, although I'm pretty sure these should be the Phillips screw style. Once you have all the clips off, panel lifts up and off. I'm going to remove this cover, 2 10mm bolts on this side and 1 over on the passenger side. And remove those, 10mm socket and ratchet. Loosen the throttle body clamp with a flat blade screwdriver. And you just kind of pull up and down on the whole ducting. There are tubes that go on the side. Once you pull it off the throttle body, you can twist a little bit and pull those tubes free. Clamp for the air filter, pull that off. Then there's 2 connectors, one easy to see here. Press down on the tab and disconnect. You may press down the tab, use your screwdriver, pry a little bit to help loosen it up. The connector's off. And then there's another connector, press the tab and disconnect. And the intake tube comes up and out. To remove the fan, you'll want to have fan removal tools. This is designed to go onto the bolts that hold the fan pulley on. and it holds, as long as you get it on there correctly. You can hold the pulley bolts with that, and then a 36mm wrench goes on to the bolt, and then you can use a ratchet for some more leverage. And once you break it free, then your fan will spin right off. And then just get it around the radiator hose. And up and out. Pair of pliers and loosen the radiator hose clamp. Pull it back. You can let it go, and then twist the hose to break it free and remove it. And now there's an 8mm bolt here and one pretty much in the same location on the other side. Remove those and we can lift our fan shroud up and out. 8mm socket with a ratchet and extension, and remove. And those bolts out and the fan off, you can pull your shroud up and out. Ours is broken because this vehicle has a lift kit on it that they had to break in order to put it on. Okay, you can see we have a lot of stuff off the front of our engine, which is good, so we can show you how the belt routes, but obviously it's going to be more compact for you. Here at the top, the belt's on the alternator, goes down around the power steering pump, back up around your water pump, then down and around the crank, up and around your tensioner, back down for your AC pulley, and then back up across this idler pulley and to the alternator. You're going to want to feed a breaker bar up from the bottom. And you're going to have the fan here, but you should be able to reach up and in and get your breaker bar in, then grab and pull down. Once you pull down, you can flip it off of one of the pulleys and then release your breaker bar slowly and take it out. And now you can reach down, bring the belt up, flip it off the water pump, pull it up and out. And then pretty much the hardest part will be get it off your AC compressor and pull it up through. To loosen these bolts, 10mm, and then take a screwdriver or a pry bar and hold with one of the other bolts, and then you should be able to loosen them up. And if it's sticking, use a little rust penetrant. Spray some in the holes too. And keep working with the large screwdriver or pry bar. And it'll come off. 4 13mm bolts hold your pump in. 1, 2, 3, and 4 down here. We'll remove the bottom one first. We've got a drain pan underneath. There are actually 2 prying spots. One here, you can get a pry bar in there and pry out, and then one on the other side here. And when you do pry, you'll most likely get some water coming out. I'm just going to use a extra chisel just to give me a little bit of more prying ability. Obviously the original pump from our vehicle, new pump from 1A Auto, you can see it's exactly the same. Comes with a new O-ring. Put that on without twisting it. And also comes with a shipping protector. Twist that, pull that off. You can see the pump from 1A Auto is exactly like the original. It's going to go on, and if your pump is wearing out and fluid's coming out of the check hole, then this will fix your problem. Use a wire brush and clean the mounting surface as best you can, and then we'll clean it up further afterwards. Paper towels, try and soak up as much of the old coolant as we can. Follow up with an abrasive pad. And soak up as much of the coolant as we can. And we did put some motor oil onto the O-ring just so it slides in there easily. And put it into place evenly. Give it a push. And then we'll start in our bolts and tighten them up evenly. And we'll torque these 15 to 22 foot-pounds. I do 10 the first time around and then 20. So you start here and just go clockwise right around. And then set to 20. Clean up and reinstall your water pump pulley. Put a bolt through, kind of peek back in there, line it up, and then start in the other 3. And these you want to tighten to 15 to 22 foot-pounds. Obviously we have a lot of stuff removed. This is so you can show you this process easier, but you will have to contend with your fan and stuff. Take a loop between the idler and the tensioner pulleys. Push it down in, and you can get it from below, but push it down in and put a loop over your AC. Then take your belt, push it down underneath your crankshaft and put a loop around the crankshaft. Okay, and then it comes up over the water pump and down over the alternator, and we'll leave it off of the power steering pulley. That'll be the last part we put on. Okay, so we're going to use a 1/2 inch ratchet, and the bigger ratchet you have, the better, because you're going to want to feed it up into here, get it into your tensioner, and keep in mind your fan will be on for some repairs. get that ratchet as high as you can, and then reach through, pull the tensioner down, and then pull your belt onto your power steering pulley. If it's not working on the power steering pulley, let it come off the water pump pulley, get it on the power steering pulley. Sometimes it's easier to push it up and onto the smooth pulley. But again, you'll have your fan in the way in some places. Then release the tensioner and remove your ratchet. Probably the easiest way to get these together is actually to do the fan and shroud itself. My shroud's badly damaged, but if you basically just kind of feed the shroud and fan down in together, and once it gets to a certain point, grab the fan and just keep feeding the shroud down in. And this will work for most vehicles. It doesn't work very well for mine because the shroud has been broken because somebody put a lift kit on the vehicle. There we go. Just get everything in the right place. And then get the fan on a couple threads. Shroud, you need to look down, make sure it goes into the little clips. One clip here, same on the other side, and then put your bolts in. Bolt on this side. And these are 8mm, so we'll tighten them up. Tighten your fan up. All right, now take your special fan tool and make sure you put it in it's holding the correct way. And this should be tightened to 40 foot-pounds. There's no real good way to torque it, so I'm just going to take my wrench and get it tight, and we'll call that 40. And put your radiator hose back on, and squeeze the clamp back into place. And release it. And put your air intake back in place. Back in place over here. The tab winds up there. And this clamp goes on. Just reach down and make sure nothing's getting pinched. Down into place, and your mass airflow connection, reconnect it, reconnect this connector, the tube down here goes in. Here, flat blade screwdriver to tighten up the clamp that holds it onto the throttle body. And put the throttle body cover back in place. And just have to kind of move it around a little bit, figure out where the bolt hole is. I'm actually cheating, just looking right through here. I can see there, start it up. And then push this side down into place, and start my 2 bolts over here, and then tighten them up. Put the cover back on. It's in place. You can see all the holes. These back clips, just make sure the center's popped up. Push them down in, push the center in. And then these ones across the front. Clip in first. And just push the center right in to lock it. Put your jack handle back in. Refill your coolant with a Ford specified coolant, and the total capacity of your system is just over 19 quarts, which is almost 5 gallons. So depending on the repair you did, you'll have to put an appropriate amount in, but you basically just put it in through here, and then you'll want to, once you fill it, you'll want to run the vehicle through a couple cycles and just check and make sure that the coolant is filled to the full hot line on here. And again, the first few times you drive it, check the coolant because it'll be working air out of its system. And keep refilling at the coolant reservoir. Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.